How did one man's secret little book transform queer culture forever? Hi there, I'm Chris with a K, and welcome back to This Week in Queer History, where we celebrate queer moments and icons that I wish I had known about as a young gay kid growing up in conservative America. This week, we're examining the life of Bob Damron and the legacy of his Damron Guide. It was a little gay book that secretly mapped out the queer world long before Google Maps ever could.
This week in queer history, stories told with love and glee.
Imagine traveling cross-country in 1965. There was no GPS, no Yelp, and definitely no searching gay bar near me. Being caught in the wrong place could mean jail or even worse. But in your pocket, you carried a little secret book that told you where people were, where you could breathe freely, and where you could belong. That book wasn't just a guide, it was a lifeline. Robert Eugene Damron, or Bob to his friends, was born in LA in 1928 into a conservative Mormon household. His father was a salesman and his mother was from Utah. He dreamed of being a diplomat, traveling the world, but his life's mission would take a different form, connecting queer people across invisible borders. By 18, the tall, confident Damron was realizing he was a little different, which was a dangerous truth in 1946 America. By the 1950s, Damron left his early ambitions behind and immersed himself in nightlife. He opened up straight bars and then mixed bars, and eventually what he called guy bars. In places like the Gaiety, the Red Raven, he found his community. These bars were more than watering holes. They were havens, filled with coded glances, laughter, and the brief taste of freedom. But queer spaces were always under threat. Police raids, moral panic, and violence, they all were constant companions. In the early 1960s, Damron moved to San Francisco's emerging Castro district, and he opened the Highway on Market Street, a name that captured both the danger and the desire to belong. And there he met Hal Call, president of the Mattachine Society. Together, they recognized a simple truth. Queer people were everywhere, but no one knew where everywhere was. Damron set out to change that. In 1965, he published Bob Damron's Address Book. 3,000 copies, 785 listings across 37 states and parts of Canada. Printed on thin, Bible-like paper, it discreetly mapped bars, coffee shops, bathhouses, and bookstores. Listings used coded symbols, C for cruising, S-M for sadomasochism, hidden in plain sight from outsiders but clear to those in the know. It was Google Maps meets the Da Vinci Code for survival. Unlike many queer publishers of his time, Damron proudly used his real name. He personally visited about 200 cities, building a network of owners, bartenders, and travelers who helped him document safe spaces across the country. Rob Halford and Judas Priest later carried the guide on tour, and actor Louis Batelli called it his life-saving device. For countless queer travelers, it whispered, "You are not alone." The guide sold for $3 and spread through bars and word of mouth. Readers annotated their copies, crossing out closed venues, adding new ones, and turning each book into a living document. By 1966, demand was so high that Damron released a mid-year update. And the following year, he and Call opened the Adonis Bookstore in San Francisco, one of the first openly gay bookstores in America. By 1968, Damron added his full name to the cover and formed Califran Enterprises to publish independently. As the gay rights movement grew, so did the guide. By the 1970s, it listed thousands of venues. Bars, discos, bookstores, and hotels, capturing the rapid expansion of queer visibility. And still, early editions reflected the biases of the era. Few lesbian listings marked only with G for girls, and there was little acknowledgement of black spaces, B for black frequent. They only started to appear after 1970. Yet the guide's influence was transformative. It helped shape iconic gay neighborhoods, Chicago's Halsted Street, San Francisco's Castro, New York's Greenwich Village. He mapped them all and legitimized them. And Damron became a queer celebrity, owning successful bars like The Hideaway, The Rendezvous, PS Piano Bar, and later the San Francisco Eagle, a leather community hub that earned $1.5 million annually by its second anniversary. He even wrote a syndicated travel column, Doing America with Bob Damron, filled with humor and honesty. Of Palm Springs, he quipped, "On most late nights, there are more horny guys upright than there are palm trees." Oh, Bob. But beneath that wit was purpose. In the 1980s, Damron expanded his listings to include AA meetings, AIDS testing sites, and LGBTQ organizations, turning the guide into a literal survival tool during the AIDS crisis. By 1985, circulation neared 100,000 copies. And then suddenly, he sold it all. Soon it was revealed he had AIDS. He returned to Los Angeles to live with his brother, Nori, hoping to write biographies, but his illness progressed quickly. Bob Damron died on June 20th, 1989, at 60 years old. His ashes were scattered at sea, and friends gathered at the San Francisco Eagle for a celebration of life. That bar now stands as a designated cultural landmark. After his death, others carried the torch. Under new leadership, the Damron name expanded, launching the Damron's Women's Travel Guide, international editions, and more. At its peak, phone bills for verifying listings exceeded $2,000 a month. Even as the internet emerged, the print guide endured until 2021, its final edition boasting over 12,000 listings, a record of a world one man had mapped by hand. Bob Damron wasn't perfect. His work mirrored the limits of his time, but his courage reshaped queer existence. Every listing was a quiet act of defiance. Each one said, "We are here." When I was 17, our high school drama club was headed to New York City for a Broadway tour. It was 8 musicals in 7 days. Packed. A lot to do. But for a closeted kid from Utah, it felt like Oz. But I wasn't just excited for theater. I was hoping to glimpse a version of myself I hadn't yet dared to be. Before the trip, I went to the downtown Salt Lake City Barnes & Noble, which was the most liberal one in Utah. And when I was there, my heart was pounding. And I slipped over to the tiny little LGBTQ section, and there it was, the Damron Guide. And there was no way I was going to buy it, but I looked around, made sure no one was there, and I opened it up and scribbled down the names and addresses of bars, bookstores, neighborhoods. It felt like I was decoding some secret map to another universe. So off to New York we went, and that little list that I had scribbled into my notebook went with me. And when our group had a free day, I told everyone that I was staying at the hotel. But then I hopped the subway to Greenwich Village. I walked through those streets I'd only imagined. Rainbow flags in every window. Couples holding hands. Music drifting from open doors. Nobody was hiding and nobody was apologizing. I didn't go inside the bars, but just seeing the names that I had written down made them real. And that was enough. I came home still very closeted, but I was changed. I knew there was a world waiting for me. That's what the Damron Guide did for thousands long before I found it. It wasn't just a directory. It was hope bound in paper. Every name and address said, "You are welcome here." And for many of us, that's all we really needed to hear. And now with apps mapping our every move, I think of that secret listing in my notebook, the one I wasn't supposed to have, and the smile. Because that list was my first passport, not to a place, but to possibility. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a comment below. Tell me about if you knew the Damron Guide, or maybe share how you find queer spaces now. I'd love to hear what you think. I read all of your comments and I respond to all of them. And since you're still here, check out the video popping up right over here for more queer history. But wait, there's more. You can head over to myqueerbirthday.com and check out other icons and events that happened on your birthday. The link is down in the description below. Until next time, stay strong, stay bold, and keep making history.